Hey garden dreamers, Joe here. Welcome. Today I'm going to take you on my journey on how I overwintered my Vincas over there and what happened to the Vincas here. So let's do this. Oh, and I'm going to show you what I'll do next year instead. Last year during November, can you see the scarecrows on the floor over there? I overwintered my Vincas from this pot in my front yard, and this is how it went. I added coffee filters to the bottom of these pots because some had huge holes in the bottom. Then I added rocks for drainage, but recently I saw to not do that. I then added soil from my garden. I then carefully removed each individual vinca plant and put it into a pot, and well, rinse and repeat to each individual plant thereafter. Look at the roots on this girl, yum! Also, a little side note, if you're going to reuse pots, it's best to really clean them out in case the last plant that was in there had a disease or anything like that. So wash those pots really well. And when this pot was empty, I later added tulips and hyacinths. And for spring, I added portulaca. I'll show you pictures. I then mixed some plant juice from elm dirt. And no, I'm not sponsored. I bought it and I had it, so I'm trying it. Here's a pic of the portulaca plants I later planted in summer and the tulips and hyacinths that were here prior to the portulaca in spring. So my mom has a sunroom in the back of her house full of windows, so I took them there to give them their best shot at surviving. Come January, I chopped them all off. I don't know why I had chopped them all off, don't ask me. I just did it. And while chopping them, I later found a bunch of seeds that fell off from the plants, so of course I stored them. Están muy bonitas porque les pongo, no les pongo agua, les pongo música. Sí, pues sí les gusta. Sí, sí les gusta. That was my mom explaining that she failed to water them properly, but she did put music on for them daily. March rolled around and they survived winter. Yay! That's all I wanted. I put this one with my plumbago and it did really well. The plumbago unfortunately did not survive. It gets too hot here and she did not like it. Or maybe they just don't like being with Vincas? Not too sure. We'll see if she comes back. And here she is. It's actually November now, a couple months later. We're in November 7th and she's still blooming. My plumbago unfortunately looks like this. It's just sticks. I'm not too sure what happened. It was pretty hot this summer, so we shall see if the plumbago comes back in spring. Okay, so here I wanted to show you that I also planted vincas directly in the ground in my flower garden in July. I got these for $1 or $2 on clearance. I planted these in July, like I said, and they look like this by November. They did die in our winter come December, January, and I then added some fertilizer in March. As you can see, nothing's in the area where they were. And the reason I wanted to show you all of this is that here in my zone, zone 8A, I live in El Paso, Texas, if I hadn't mentioned it. Here in my area, vincas reseed themselves. Lo and behold, to my surprise, they started coming up again all on their own come June, July. It's now November and they're still thriving. Don't mind the black on them. I threw down some worm castings because it was about to rain. And here they are after the rain washed out the worm castings. Okay, so update on the ones that I overwintered. This one and the white one that I showed you earlier are the only ones that survived. The other two didn't make it because I don't think I watered them enough. And as you can see, this one is pretty leggy because I think she was looking for sun. I had her in a location that didn't have enough sun, and I think they love sun. But like I said, these self-seeded themselves. That sounds redundant. Anyway, so what I'm going to do next year, I'm going to let these seed themselves, and then I will just dig up some from here and pot them in pots if I want them in pots, kind of like that white one over there. So I'm going to try to overwinter this one and that one again. Since they're there, I don't want to kill them. But I think it's just easier to let them seed themselves and then get free plants from the ground. But that's in my zone. I'm in zone 8A again in El Paso, Texas. So it could be different in your zone. So I'm just letting you know what happens in my zone, and your zone might be similar. Anyway, that's my journey. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again. So this is the leggy one that I just showed you, and I don't want to kill her, and I want to try to protect her for next year because, as you can see, she's already growing some down here, and I thought she had some babies coming out, but I don't see them anymore. Maybe they froze because it's been a little cold lately, and I still have yet to build my greenhouse that I'm going to build right there. Anyway, hope she survives. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.